Hello.
Love that background.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. Really enjoyed this season so far. So to start off, can you talk about how the baby or lack of the baby, because we do find out at the end of the season that there is a baby. Can you sort of talk about how it is going to affect their relationship and also their relationship with Max this season?
Yeah. Mary, do you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I think this for Kate, there's a sense of unease that something is wrong, and it affects the world around her because normally when she feels like something is wrong, she looks outwards to try and figure out what the problem is. And in season one, it's a lot about she's bumping up against Ben's behavior, and it's a lot of pointing out, sometimes when something is amiss. And this season, she tries to do that, in her dynamics with the house. She's like, oh, well, maybe it's the house. The house is the problem. So she tries to start by doing the things she normally does, and that has its effect of causing its own tensions in her home space. But then none of those things are working. None of those things are working. None of those solutions are making anything better. So she has to kind of expand her worldview a little bit and simplify and say something is wrong, and I think it's coming from inside, and I don't know how to fix it. And that's a very vulnerable position for her to be in, where she needs to lean on others, where a lot of the time she comes off as strong and capable. And I think this season there's some vulnerability there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Ben just has he's been getting abducted for a lot longer than Kate has. It's been happening to him since he was a child. So I think his while he has this trauma that he's carrying around, it's very deep in his subconscious. So Kate, I think, has, and Meredith, jump in if I'm not saying this correctly, but I think Kate is a lot more attuned, maybe experiencing this as an adult. Like she's like something is off, where it's maybe just everyday life for Ben. So I think Kate, yeah, I mean, wouldn't you say, Meredith? Like you can
Totally.
you can sense that like you're missing a part of you, whereas as Ben, maybe it takes him longer to realize that. Like you're the one who kind of starts piquing his interest in this whole thing, and like, what is going on? Like, why are you're afraid to live in the house? There's like, you're afraid of these owls outside the window. Like Ben's more focused on trying to step up and help Kate through this thing that she's going through. And it's not until later that that he finds out a little bit more of what's going on.
Great. Thank you. This is sort of, I was just thinking when you guys were talking about Max and how Max knows the truth. And obviously kids do not tell their parents a lot of things, but can you just sort of, hypothesize, like, how can they accept the fact that he's kind of kept this big thing and hasn't forced the issue and hasn't, I don't know, I'm just kind of curious what you think about that, like how that would affect them knowing that he's kind of known this whole time what's going on and not done anything really to help his parents out there in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, he tried. I think it was first season. He was trying to tell us,
Right.
that the doctor's an alien, all this stuff, and I even reiterated in this third season. I just realized watching it, I had forgotten where we're around the table, and he says something about aliens. I'm like, we've been over this. Aliens aren't real. So I think he doesn't feel like it's a space where he can really, his parents are going to believe him about anything.
It's yeah, and it's a more extreme circumstances, but kids always have secret private worlds from away from their parents, that in some form or another. And it's like, this is his because he's had to accept that this is a thing that he knows it's a secret, and he understands the stakes, what's at stake here. So what is it going to be like for him to, for us, for all that information to, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like it makes sense to me. Kids have their own they have their own internal lives and their own secrets. And yeah, we didn't make it a space for this to be like my response to that was like, you're not well. Like if you think this person is an alien, like something's wrong with you. So I wouldn't tell me either, you know? I wouldn't keep going on about it either. I'd be like, they don't get it. I gotta handle this by myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm excited to see, though, eventually, hopefully, when they do find out.
Yeah, I know. Could be a big
Totally.
moment. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, great.